Recording. When you hear the sound of the bell, you know you are in the championship rounds with the one and only King Amin of Essex. And I'm here taking care of family business. This one is real special. Not only is this episode about many things, especially yard things. I've been going on a real Jamaican spree these last few episodes, and this one is dear to my heart, special to the fight game. I got Coach Major Tucker here. This is the father. I'm sorry, brother.
Coach Music.
Coach Music Tucker. Excuse me. Can't confuse it. Don't confuse it.
No, okay.
But we got Coach Music Tucker here, and he is the father. He's got two sons. You might know of one of them. Everybody asked himself, who is Jahi Tucker? Well, you're going to learn a little bit more about him today and where he comes from. He also has a brother you're going to learn a little bit about as well. But like I said, you want to just give them your social medias before we get started so they know where to find you?
Yeah. At who is Jahi Tucker, you already know. At No Limit Marley _, at Jahi _Jamali Tucker. Right, but we running with Coach Major today because that's how you started it.
That's how I started. That's how I started. Yeah. Run with that.
Yeah, we running with Coach Major. I love it.
Coach Major, right? So we're going to get right to the major business of this. I want to talk about boxing, right? And I'm a swing it from this angle.
Mm-hmm.
From Jamaica, many people, many different avenues, areas, and industries. We don't have enough representatives in boxing, if you ask me. So I'm gonna bring it here. When I was young, my father, Jamaica, but he loved Brooklyn, of course, spent his time there. So Mike Tyson was big for us. But when it was Tyson versus Razor Ruddock, we had a problem in my house. You know what I'm saying? We had to choose a Jamaican, right?
Yeah, of course.
How did you yourself first come in tune with boxing?
To be honest, boxing came around. You know, when you're growing up, the first boxer, when you're there at Jamaica, talk about Mike McCallum.
Yeah.
Or even Shrimpy Clark, if you want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where most of you hear that. And then, a black and white TV. So, you watch it that way when Mike McCallum fight it on. Or when, you understand me?
Yeah.
So, it just becomes a part of your growing up. Because remember, our sports are soccer, blah, blah, blah. But, sports are sports for we, cricket. So anything with sports we deal with. So boxing was just one of them. We just watch and say, John, that brother, word.
Absolutely. So when it comes to, because I already spoke about it, we know we have a lot of a ground to cover. We have a large radius. And so one of the central foregrounds is New York, of course. Right. For what was that experience like for you and your family and raising the kids as far as Caribbean culture, but specifically Jamaican culture and heritage for you?
When you come to New York, it's a melting pot you end up in for real. So, Jamaicans, as you know, we get accepted everywhere. For some reason, every island, most people, you're gonna run into one and two little things where you gotta iron out, but for the most part, it's a welcoming thing.
Sure.
Right? So, but you don't know. You just take it and you grow and you learn different culture and you just work through it. That's it. So the family end up just, come together, as a lot of us. So it's like, it's a good backbone. It's a good sturdy foundation, no matter how you look at it.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And music is one of those things, like you said, sports is sports, music. All right.
That makes everything. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. All right. Music. How important a role is music in your life and also for your family in every avenue?
See, I come from a musical family regardless. My background's from a musical family. Like my great uncles, all of them was top musicians. My cousins, good top musicians. So, and I came here again, just being in my blood, my brother. The whole thing, production, that's how I got in the name music. I used to do a lot of production and stuff. So music played a major part. You don't know Bob originally, but you have all man like General Trees and Professor Nuts. In our time, those are the guys, Ninja Man, Shabasa, when
Yellow
you see
Man.
Those guys go
Gregory Isaacs.
Yeah, when you see those guys go like like overseas. You see them overseas doing big things. So, you know, generally you want to travel, you want your mind wanders into those directions, you know what I mean? So music actually is like a whole life thing. It started out just even thinking how far you can go.
And in the parallels with boxing, how
Right.
how the similarities, tell us some about the similarities as far as how far it can take you, the dedication, grassroots, the work ethic.
Entertainment, hard work, um, how you put in a overtime, vibration, rhythm. You know, it goes on and on. It just doesn't stop. Everything is a punchline. Everything is a setup. Everything is a, you know what I mean? It's everything. It's the same thing.
With a rhythm, right? So,
Yeah,
they say like a happy fight is a dangerous fight. And I find myself, I'm a proud novice, I'm a
right,
proud novice.
right,
So when I'm training with somebody, I'm like clay. I'm like, teach me, you know what I'm saying? Mold me.
right,
Don't put no bad handling on me, but show me
right.
something good, right?
Yeah,
And I find that when I got the right music, I'm in
right,
tune. My footwork, I'm in tune. Do you
right.
guys prefer music in camp, or is that something you got to switch off so you can focus on the boxing, or does it play in?
But sometimes he's I can't be bothered with the noise sometimes. But you know them you tell when like before when I'm running it, you know what I mean? Oh man, take off them nice, them man, focus. But now I remember he became from 17 to 80. You can't want to put I can't argue with you about your headphones too much. See me? Because then again you talk about bridging a young man to a I don't know. So you definitely don't want to get another like a rat race there, you know what I mean? So you
Sure.
just know that, all right, sometimes you just got to full joy too. And then sometimes you got to be like, you put that down for a minute. Let's just get with it. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I don't mind because, you know, again, me can listen to feel music and I say turn it off. But then if I'm hearing my music, I'm like, all right, so it's like a bias thing too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, them way there.
And it keep you, I guess, youthful because you know what the kids are listening to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Not only that, you see what happens still in me. I always find a way for like it's still in there. Just even if I don't understand it, there's something there. Rhythm and bass line and stuff like that would always move you, you know what I'm saying? Or you
Yeah,
can hear it. You hear it. You hear it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it will move you.
So let me ask you, this is one thing back in the day we used to see it as a negative. We used to see the father and son combination in different sports, and we used to say, oh no, the father's trying to do this. But nowadays, and especially in boxing, you see it with Danny Garcia. No matter what you think of Angel, you see it with Kenny Porter and Sean Porter. The father-son relationship, Virgil Ortiz Sr., the father and son relationship is bearing better fruit nowadays. Did you
Nowadays, the father and son thing are bear fruits forever. It's a thing like you know, it's today, yes, it started yesterday. Yo, you can never listen. Remember, you know, if you really check on the average how many hours somebody spend in the gym as to how much hours he spends at home. You understand me? So for you, for really sitting on that things as a coach, you got more um, you know, the mind. Remember, you know, who the person I got trust, who the person I got think that, you know what I mean? So when you see father and son, it really just becomes easier because although I'm at the gym with you all day, when I'm at home, sometimes not every day, but some days we're gonna go over here. It's almost like you downloading a chip over time, right? And then you got to get out all the viruses. So having more time, it's crucial. So I may get up with an idea at 3 in the morning. Now, I mean, I get to see you 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Or what if you're up? I could always talk to you about it. Versus you got to wait to see me. You may lose some of that trader thought. You may lose little things along the way where you forget where, you know what I mean, by the time you start, or you could just start right there in the house. Henceforth, we used to always have the upper hand because even at the time, I've taken the spar 5 guys. Whatever happens that day, some days you win some days it will a little bit rough. I get to go right home and work on that.
Mhm.
You have to wait another day, send him home with his parents. His parents finish downloading him, download information, and then you got to fight through all of that to get to him. It's just easier for us.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. I think there's a lot more advantages than disadvantages. You have the opportunity to protect them, to teach them the principles of business before you get
Right,
hanger-ons and different, people
right.
trying to friend them up and mislead them. So I see the
If you
benefits.
want me still enough, you have to understand this. Life is like this. Have you ever been on the gully side and thing, or the seaside, and you see some parents come and just throw their kids in the water? They can't swim, but they throw them in. You cannot really dictate anything. We're not in control of nothing. That's one. So I don't got to worry about it. Once you're favored by God, ain't nothing going. There's always a bulletproof. You may have to go through the experiences, but you're always gonna come out on top.
Absolutely. Now, I
Yeah,
wanted to I wanted to pick at something because you made a good point. You have the opportunity to nurture and do those things at home. As a fan, though, do you find as a fighter and in training your son, is there any time for a fighter to be a fan of boxing, or do you get to pay attention to other fighters, or is this really like the music? You don't want nobody else style, so you kind of work in an incubator. You don't want nobody to say you stole your hooks or no sounds or nothing, so you
no,
just
no. Mm-mm.
mm-mm,
Fib. If a musician tell you that fibbing, him fibbing, why?
mm,
Because you have to draw inspiration. Nobody draws inspiration from nowhere. And remember, as the great musicians, you must find one else, Jano. Even if you don't copy everything what him do, you just in movement alone, in vibration, you have to take, because if there's something that draw you towards that. It's the same thing in boxing. Like I said, I would have studied every fighter if I could. I would. I study every fighter because why? Listen, it came from somewhere,
yeah,
right? And then at the same time, no two people does the thing the same way.
sure.
It's always gonna come out different. So for you to sit on and say you're not studying this, you're not studying that, you're telling yourself you're fib, you have to go, you must see it somewhere. You know what I mean? Or even if you haven't seen it somewhere, subconsciously you pick it up. And somebody gonna say to you, yo, you throw the jab like this guy. If you're curious, you're gonna go look.
Hmm.
So, let's not fib. Everybody feed off everyone.
And then why
True.
miss the opportunity to educate yourself, so
Right.
but remember, this is I just using that music analogy. You hear them guys, oh, I don't listen to nobody except my own camp and my own crew, and it's like
Story time, man. Entire year, man, tell us stuff. All right, put like this then. You know how we raise? We raise off common sense. Somebody tell you that, you're gonna just listen and be like, all right, you're gonna take that data, but in fact, that is not true. You know that. Because nobody, oh, you know that nobody wakes up big,
that's it.
right? Everybody was once a baby, right?
There you go.
True. Yes,
So
Tyra.
speaking of babies and baby steps, this thing is now running with full legs now, and I'm talking women's boxing. All right.
Yeah, right.
What are your thoughts on women's boxing?
Free up the woman, them man. Woman is hurt. You can't, it's like everything else, you cannot, you must always run freely. Why would you want to stifle the earth? It just don't make sense. You have to water it, make it grow. You must water it. You must love it, right? Now we could sit and debate should women be fighting and all that, but then them choose to. So at the end of the day, that's what happened. And you have to look at it like this. So they've been through so much, like, a lot of downloading, a lot of data breach, or I call it, where thing that say, yo, if this is where it led to, again, we're not in control. The earth is in control, so let it be. Seeing? Let it be. Why not?
And they're able to do some amazing things because this weekend we got a big card. Amanda
Big
Serrano,
time.
she's back in it.
Gardner, right?
Come
And so
on now.
yeah, yeah. But you see, you have to realize, we may not watch it like how it's supposed to, but I watched the fight the other day in England with the GOAT.
Yeah,
I watched that whole fight. That was a hell of a fight.
absolutely.
I was a hell back and forth. It was a hell of a fight.
Toe to
I
toe.
I seen her dig in. I seen her dig in. Right. So and I seen Sarah fight. Matter of fact, I knew her and her coach. And I know them personally, but I used to see them come around the gym. I remember It was Irish Night. He fought against a kid from Cops and Kids. That's maybe 11, 12 years ago. But from them times, so, the groundwork has been laid. That's my point. Like, them my work.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And look, every match is a undisputed or a unification.
Well,
Every
guess what?
time.
They're not afraid to fight each other. Now, I mean, they're not talking, bumping gums, and then all of a sudden the date fell apart. Or all of a sudden, we're not green and we're going to fight this guy. It's just not happening.
Salute to the women's. And this weekend, it's so much. You even got some of the fighters that are young in their career. Shout out to Sky Nicholson from Australia. Shout out to Ramla Ali. She's on that card. Yeah. And shout out to my girl, Shadeja Green, Patterson, New Jersey. As tough as they come, she's fighting to become a mandatory for Franchon Cruz-Dezurn. So you got lots of women's boxing, women making history. Every fight is counting. So, I'm so excited about this weekend. That's why I put it on here. And I'm glad that, people that are in the fight game are just excited as us on the outside of the fight game, from this view. It's beautiful.
Well, what happened? It's growing so fast. They doing good numbers.
Yeah.
It's growing but it's not even that it's growing. It's just everybody's just paying attention a lot more now. That's what it is. So give credit to the promoters, give credit to the females and how they carry themselves and how you got to give credit to where it goes. Sometimes look at they doing a better job of promoting them than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they used to say, remember in music, they say it's harder to promote a woman because the attitude and you got to pay for hair.
But look at this, all this nonsense now. There's more female artists even in our culture now that's out there even more than the male.
See?
Full circle. As you can see, it's like, remember, a woman energy strong. So what happens is when they galvanize, everything moves at once. Different industries. You see me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, we say, remember, strength is from within. We don't have the time to sit down and do that kind of thing. I mean, let it be,
No, definitely. So salute to them, man. Listen, this was a good one today. I just want you to take a few more minutes. I want you to just tell us, what's next up for the guys. Tell us what's next up for yourself before we get out of here.
We don't even bother with that. No one knows what's next. I could just wait and see why we rush it, sir. It is there. The writing's on the wall. We know why we're getting to be great. It's the full battle. We're not ducking anybody. We won all the fights. We're not wasting time. But at the same time, for me, if I said, no, this is going to happen, that going to, I could say that, but remember again, I'm not in control of anything. Neither you nor no one. Seeing? So we live like that. I won't make that happen.
Absolutely. We leave everything.
But it's love. It's the championship round boxing. That's what's happening right now. We live in we live here.
No,
in the present moment. Championship round boxing is the biggest thing on earth. You dig it? And that's what we're doing right at this moment. You know what I'm saying? So in this time, this is what we uplifting.
Absolutely.
Last time Team Tucker, Shalon Jones, World Combat, Championship Round, George. The whole, it's just keep unifying each other. That's
Spencer Fearon. Shout out to Spencer in the UK.
Fearon, right? We shouting out the whole sports section in Jamaica. We shouting out everybody. Right?
Absolutely.
Just, everybody that's keep doing good work, keep pushing. You know what I mean? That's how it go. You know what I mean? Day by day, seconds by seconds.
And that's what the most important thing is, my brother. I had such a great time having you here. I know the guys is out doing some road work, but this is we're just getting everybody warmed up. We're gonna be back here with just touching bases to check in. This is a check-in, and we're bringing the conversation about not just boxing, not just music, but conversation about life, fatherhood, many things, because that's what the championship rounds is all about. Of course, I brought this gentleman here, but I can also lean on him to get some coaching and some little aspects of music things I'm working on.
Everyone, Hey, what's that lady name in Washington that does the sports for Jamaica? Audrey, what's her name?
You just make me forget her last name, but Audrey.
Right. It was mentioned, but shout her out. Same way. You know what I mean? All the high schools, KC, George's, Alpha, you know, the whole works. We here doing work, you know what I mean, from where we came from to where we're
Absolutely.
going. All right. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do this. For whence we come, where we going, it's no limit. There's no
True.
limit.
And that's my young son's at No Limit Marley. There, we're gonna put it right there. That's it. Love. It's
Love, my
Coach
brother.
Major on the check-in tonight. You heard?
Coach Major for now.
Love, brother. Respect, man.
Respect, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love, man.